Welcome to Shooby Dooby Doo-Wop, a podcast where we talk about pop music, specifically by deep diving a randomly chosen UK top 10 singles chart from the past. I'm Andy Robinson.
And I'm James Cook.
And in this part 2 edition, James, which top 10 singles chart have we been looking at?
We are halfway through our deep dive of the top 10 singles chart from August the 3rd, 1969.
The 3rd of August, 1969, I say to reiterate. I mean, we've already done numbers 10 to 6. Welcome if you're here for the first time, but maybe we should go over what these great records were. Down 2 places to number 10 this week. It's It Mek by Desmond Dekker and the Aces.
It means that's what you get, and what you get is a song that works its way into your brain.
It's a non-mover at number 9. It's Marmalade with Baby Make It Soon.
A big dramatic love song that sounds like a couple of other more well-known tunes.
Up 5 places to number 8 this week, it's Cilla Black with Conversations.
A big dramatic love song that sounds like a couple of other more well-known tunes.
It's a non-mover again at number 7. It's Joe Dolan with Make Me an Island.
A big melodramatic love song from Ireland's Singing Hyena.
And he sold his hip bone on eBay. And at number 6, it's My Sherry Amour by Stevie Wonder.
A beautiful classic that Tony Blair has definitely sung in an intimate setting.
You can listen to all those songs on our attached YouTube and Spotify playlists, and the next 5 we're going to talk about, and another half a dozen, James.
That's right, we've got 6 extra songs that we're going to talk about in our bonus tracks podcast, the podcast that's exclusively for our Patreon backers. But don't worry, you can become a Patreon backer by going to patreon.com/ShoobyPodcast. Costs less than £1 a week, and you get extra content. In our bonus tracks this week, the drama continues with 2 supergroups, a fictional band, an assembly banger mashup, and we'll be answering the question, what is a man?
I see no reason to hang around. What's number 5?
Number 5.
Down 1 place to number 5, a former number 2, it's In the Ghetto by Elvis Presley.
You said in part 1, James, how did you describe this record?
Elvis goes woke.
Elvis has gone woke, hasn't he?
Well, that was a controversial thing, wasn't it, for him to do?
Socially aware Elvis, absolutely. I can't think of many songs where he talks about politics, of course, apart from the politics of the heart and just generally. But this and, what's the other one? If I Can Dream from his 1968 comeback special. Elvis very much wanted to comment on the times, apparently.
Who's Marty Lacker?
Marty Lacker, wasn't he one of Elvis's friends in the Memphis Mafia, I believe?
Okay. Well, he said that Colonel Tom Parker had always drilled into Elvis's head, don't do message songs. If you do message songs, it's just like taking a political side. Whatever side you're going to take is going to offend other people. Marty Lacker says he told Elvis, if you're ever going to do a song like this, this is the one to do.
Yeah, all right. I'm glad you brought this up early doors. If you've watched the biopic recently about Elvis and just generally read books about Elvis or whatever, the notion that the Colonel Tom Parker, his manager, had some sort of iron fist over Elvis and would always tell him he couldn't do this and do that and the other, that has recently been disputed by a biographer of Elvis called Peter Guralnick, who's wrote great books about Elvis. And he's discovered letters from the Colonel recently to Elvis and to other people where, let's say, it's more complicated than this common perception. And they're saying they're pretty codependent, actually, Peter Guralnick. He's saying that Elvis and the Colonel, they both had terrible ways of spending money. Elvis was always in debt because he was overspending, and the Colonel was always gambling. So things might not be what the common perception is in terms of Elvis's management style.
But this feels like a departure from the things we knew Elvis for leading up to this. Because this is the end of the 60s. He's just spent 15 years making films of, various quality.
Yeah.
And the songs from those, which are quite sort of, happy and upbeat, aren't they? But what?
This Elvis's perception of his film soundtrack, that's one of my bugbears, isn't it? That they're all rubbish. I mean, there's a lot of rubbish.
I never said that. I said they were
right.
just tonally different from In the Ghetto.
That's valid. My apologies. I'll shut up. Please continue talking.
Well, no, please don't shut up, because that's going to make the podcast really short and
I get a little bit like when with Elvis, I get, especially about his film soundtracks, I get a little bit like Swifties. If someone slags them off, I get very angry and how dare you? Let's do more. I love it. I love Elvis. Socially aware Elvis. I mean, as you say, woke Elvis or whatever. We've talked about him in the past, haven't we? When he's having stuff recorded at his home in Graceland. We've called that sad Elvis in the past. When we've covered him in the 50s charts, we call him sexy Elvis. But socially aware. Elvis, all right.
As an Elvis fan, Andy, what do you think of this song? What do you know about it?
I know it was written by Mac Davis,
Yep.
who we've spoken about in the past. He wrote Don't Cry Daddy and A Little Less Conversation for Elvis, amongst other songs.
He also hosted The Muppet Show in 1980.
There they are. Regular
And
listeners will know.
he also appeared as a sheriff in an episode of Murder, She Wrote.
Blimey. We've not had that fact before, I don't think.
Yeah.
All right. Where did you get that new one from?
I watched all of Murder, She Wrote, basically, until I spotted someone I knew from this podcast, and I wrote it down.
You do a lot of research for this podcast, James, right? All right, so there he is. Elvis, very much talking of a tale. Let's go for it. I like the... I can't play the riff. It's in a... Bum, 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 whatever he's doing. The beautiful guitar player. As the snow flies. Yeah? Mm-hmm. On a cold and grey Chicago morn, another little baby child is born in the ghetto. That's how it starts. Setting a scene, yeah? And his mother's crying because she's got another mouth to feed. Elvis is saying, don't you understand this child needs a helping hand? The world keeps turning and a hungry little child with a runny nose plays in the street as the cold wind blows in the ghetto. So it's that kind of thing.
Sorry.
What happens at the end of this tale?
Well, the kid dies.
How?
Well, one day in desperation, the young man breaks away. He buys a gun, he steals a car. He tried to run, but he didn't get far. And then he dies face down in the street with a gun in his hand.
That's right.
But don't worry, because somewhere else in the ghetto, another little child is born.
As he's dying, starting again, isn't it very much the circle of life in the ghetto, as Elton John might have sung about if he wasn't banging on about lions. Lena Johnson on YouTube, 1594 anyway, she says, if he feels like that, he could give them some money to help him out.
Yeah, this is the thing of no one can ever point out a social injustice unless they're giving all of their money to that cause and mentioning every other social injustice at the same time. Because anyone who points that out is obviously clever. So annoying. The original title of this song, by the way, The Vicious Circle.
That's right, yes, I remember that. In fact, I've seen that in brackets, in ellipses, in some titles.
Yeah, it was in brackets.
We love a bit of bracket work, don't we, James? Yeah. What's your take on brackets?
The thing in brackets should be what people are calling the song if they're not calling it by the actual title.
Yeah, no one's calling this a vicious circle, though, are
well,
they?
Not anymore. Do you know why?
No, tell me.
Because Elvis didn't like it. Elvis didn't like that. He wanted to call it In the Ghetto, so they changed it.
Okay, great. Well done, Elvis. Great choice.
That's in the actual lyrics.
They mention it quite a lot.
Yes. Yeah, it doesn't go, the vicious circle, the vicious circle. It doesn't go like that, does it? Oh, you mentioned the guitar riff. That's Freddie Weller from Paul Revere and the Raiders.
Ah, nice work, James. Yeah. Thanks. It's turned up in South Park. I've learned a lot of people were there from South Park because Cartman. I don't know this version. What's that?
It's Cartman singing In the Ghetto. You can imagine what that's like. Like that. I knew it because it was on the Beats International follow-up album.
Oh, yeah, with your heartthrob Lindy Layton.
No, Lindy Layton was not on that album.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember what that was called. Was it called Excursion on the Version or something like that?
Okay.
They did release it as a single. It got to number 44 in 1991. Nick Cave and the Bad Seeds did a version of it. Got to number 84 in 1984. Those are the two charting cover versions.
Yeah. Did you like this record? Do you like it?
Yeah, I do like it, but then that's because I'm a mad old lefty.
And you feel like what's that got to do with this?
But I'm also a realist. Well, look, people, don't you understand? The child needs a helping hand, or he'll grow up to be an angry young man someday.
Is that a lefty property?
Yeah, because the right wing version would be, people, don't you understand? This boy was born evil. And we're not going to help him. He should help himself.
Yeah, I mean, there's a bit of talk about Elvis himself, isn't there? Was he racist? Early doors, no, I don't believe he was. He did perform to segregated audiences in the 50s, but, that was a kind of thing. There's stories about him seeing them trying to throw black people out of his audience and him not doing a gig. So there's all this. That's Public Enemy, and Chuck D says, Elvis was a racist mofo. I don't believe it.
Yeah, you've got to put these things in context of where he was and what time it was. just going back to the thing about the right wing thing is you should help yourself. That's what he actually tries to do. He buys a gun and he steals a car.
That's right.
That is him trying to pull himself up by his bootstraps. All right, not legally, but that's that. Sorry, I've been watching The Wire again, so it's really got to me, which is all about systemic institutional problems that can never be surmounted, and how everyone falls into traps of repeated behaviour. And that's what this song is about. It's about, okay, this is happening, this is what's going to happen, and this is what's going to carry on happening because there's no political will to change it in any way. And we can point out, we can say, the child needs a helping hand, but no one does anything, and it just keeps going. And we what do? We simply turn our heads and look the other way.
Okay, yeah. I'm up for that.
I haven't given all my money to poor people or charity, and I haven't mentioned any of the other massive injustices in the world. So obviously, you should completely discount everything I've just said.
Good point.
Yeah.
If you feel like that, you should give them some money to help them out, as Liam Johnson says. All right, then. I mean, I loved Elvis. I loved him since I was 8. I loved him just before he died as a very young boy. I was about 6 or 7, something like that. Anyway, I loved Elvis. This song has stayed with me. In the 90s, James, I used to go shopping around the supermarket, and I'd be singing, "As the world turns, I'm gonna buy a block of cheese, a baking potato, and a tin of baked beans in the Netto." That was in my head as I'd go there.
You could also sing in the Ghetto.
I never bought any oranges from Netto for very simple reasons. All right then. Yeah, so this song, a lot of people on YouTube were saying it's still relevant today as it was then, so that's still happening. What do you make of that?
Yeah, because it's a circle that no one can break out of ever, so it is just going to keep happening.
A vicious circle.
Yep. One of the backing singers on this song, Donna Jean Thatcher, what band did she go on to join for a while?
The Sweet Inspirations?
The Grateful Dead.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
There's a deadhead on this record.
Zadora Balajo says, I found it a little offensive that Olivia Rodrigo's ad was shown in that video, but I'll get over it. I mean, we covered it in the past, didn't we? Jake Bugg, when he did his video for Two Fingers or one of them, that had an advert halfway through it. I was furious with him. However, since we've been monetised with little adverts, I'm a lot more tolerant.
We're in no position to talk, are we?
Thanks for listening.
Number 4.
Up 2 places to number 4 this week. It's Cloda Rogers with Goodnight Midnight. Another song, James, I had no knowledge of whatsoever.
No, nor me, and it took me a while to realise what the hell she was going on about with Goodnight Midnight.
Go on, because...
Midnight is a person. It's like the
name,
personification of something.
And she's saying, don't say Goodnight Midnight.
It's like she doesn't want the night to end. Midnight stands about a head above anyone I've ever known. That's a bit like you. You're quite tall, aren't you?
Sometimes. Sometimes I'm tall.
Have you got velvet eyes that hypnotise and burn me?
That's not for me to say, is it, James? That's completely up to you. Do you think I have? Is that what you're saying?
Are you just a romantic fool with 19th century lines sending tingling, thrilling chills that turn me on? It's a bit racy, this song, isn't it?
Yeah, sexy record. This is Cloda. I'd never heard it before.
I was aware of Cloda Rogers because, of course, she is mentioned in an old Monty Python episode.
There they are again. I'll make Paul McCartney like now,
Yeah.
so we're all right. What's that record?
They talk about Jack in the Box, which was another of her hits.
Joe O'Connor, 5400 on YouTube, says Eurovision ruined her career. She was much better than that shite Jack in the Box.
Yeah, that was the Eurovision song for the UK in 1971. Why was that controversial?
I do not know.
Where's Cloda from?
Ireland?
Yes, she's from Northern Ireland, and she's Catholic. And so there were death threats, because that's worth doing, isn't it? She eventually came fourth behind winners Monaco with Un Bonk, Un Arbre, Un Rue, which we've spoken of before. But yeah, she was massive.
So I've learned, on YouTube, a lot of men are warm for a form. James
Yeah.
Patrick Joyce says, my teenage crush, beautiful lady. Michael Tuckett says, I'd heard of her by name. Think I'm having my teenage crush now at the age of 43. So there's an element of that, isn't there? She's pretty. Also, after this record finished on YouTube, please go over Spotify, YouTube, check out these songs we're talking about. It makes everything much better. But I saw her on quite a few light entertainment shows. There's a song where she's singing with Des O'Connor. Really charming it was. They're both dicking around in a park, being old-fashioned. So I got the impression from what I've seen and what I've read of her that she was a light entertainer. This record's not light entertainment, though, is it? It's pretty heavy, I think, this record. Reminded me a lot, the melodic choices.
Well, first there's a bit on what sounds like a recorder.
That's right, there's a load of recorder on this record. That's a late 60s thing. The recorder made loads of appearances in a hippie psychedelic way. These are things that I thought were a bit Kinks-like. The chorus of "Don't say goodnight midnight, you may turn into a pumpkin, don't go." I mean, yeah, sounds like Blur to me, at least.
Blur?
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't see that coming. Do you know who wrote this song?
No, please tell.
Someone we've talked about before.
This week or just previously in our
Previously on 2 different 70s episodes, because he was in 2 different bands. One was Fox and one was Yellow Dog.
Oh, that's right. What's his name again?
Kenny Young.
That's right. Well done, Kenny. Thank you.
Yeah, he wrote and produced this. He spotted her singing and then wrote songs for her and basically got her a record deal. She's been a singer since she was 15, and she was the best-selling female singles artist of 1960.
Wow, really?
Massive she was. Favourite female singer at the NME Poll Winners concert. Won Best Legs in British Showbiz.
A lot of men banging on about her legs. She had 2 of them, just to point it out. Well done, Clodagh.
And she had her voice insured for £1 million. She'd go on to be, as you say, on light entertainment shows, do cabaret, that kind of thing, including becoming the face of Bisto Gravy for a while. Yeah, but after she split from her husband in 1980, who was also her manager, she kind of quit music, although she would come back to musical theatre in the 90s and appear in The Bill, alongside LaRue's mom, presumably.
That's right. We've talked about LaRue in the past, haven't we? And the people go, she's a Nepo baby. And then we have questioned the importance of people who might have appeared in The Bill to kick down the doors of showbiz and opportunity.
But this is good. It's a lot funkier than you think it's going to be, isn't it? It's got that wah, 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 wah guitar noise in it.
It had a touch of the Cilla Black record we mentioned in part 1, isn't it? You know, these pop records that you've never heard. No one plays them on the radio. Well, they play certainly what we're going to discuss number 1 to this day. So I'd never heard this record before, and it's been a real joy for me to discover. Listen to it yourself, see if you can either reacquaint yourself with it or familiarise yourself with it. It's a treat.
Yeah, that guitar noise I mentioned, you know what I mean?
No, one explain.
It's not quite a wah-wah, but it's in the background, kind of wah, 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 like that. It reminded me of, for some reason, of the TV show Jamie and the Magic Torch.
Blimey. Which has one of the greatest theme tunes ever. We should do a top 10 of children's theme tunes one week, I reckon.
Yeah. The thing is, Andy, when we do your ideas, you end up hating them. So
it is true, isn't it? In the past, what ideas I hated when we did the American top 10, I resented that, didn't we? When we did numbers 20 to 11, I was slightly resentful of one week. All right, then. Do you know why, James?
Why?
Because I'm a real dickhead. All right, then.
Not at all.
What social media are we on, James? Not Facebook. We're also on Instagram, aren't we?
That's correct. You can find us on Facebook by searching for Shooby Dooby Doo Up, or on Instagram, we are Shooby Podcast.
Now, I put up a little quiz. We have a lot of celebrity listeners, don't we, James? I put up a quiz on social media asking our pop star listeners what other time of day could Clodagh Rogers have been singing about rather than midnight.
The choir boys are making a noise and stating that 7 a.m. is the time to party.
Well, Gary US Bonds is having a ding-dong and he's saying that Clodagh should dance to 2:45.
Iron Maiden are wading in to tell Clodagh it's 2 minutes to midnight and she's got to be patient.
And the Jam are doing what they can by speculating that midnight's all right if you're down the tube station.
Whitney Houston's in a stew again to say to Clodagh that one moment in time is ours.
But Gene Pitney's got the bit in his teeth and he's moaning to get to Tulsa. It's 24 hours.
It takes 7 seconds, they both reckon. That's Nana Cherry and Yusun Nador.
Well, John Cage is in a silent rage and he's fuming that ideally it should be 4 minutes and 33 seconds, providing that the only thing you can hear is precisely bugger all. Which do you think should win the million pot points, James?
Oh, Whitney Houston.
Yeah, I agree. The moment in time is ours. Thanks for playing, Whitney.
Number 3.
It's a non-mover at number 3. It peaks at number 2. It's Saved by the Bell by Robin Gibb, which disappointingly is not the theme tune to the 90s American sitcom Saved by the Bell, which, on balance, I would have preferred.
Yeah. You love Saved by the Bell, don't you?
No, it's rubbish. I just have fond memories of being a teenager and watching it.
Would you have fond memories of being a teenager if you were in 1969 and listening to this record, do you think?
Maybe. We talked in the first half about a lot of songs we'd never heard, and I was saying about how they all grew on me and I grew to really like them.
Yeah.
This is the exception. This is the one I'd never heard, and I listened to it over and over again, and it's not doing anything. And, you know, don't get me wrong, I love the Bee Gees, but this is not for me.
Do you know, James, I'm going to agree with you. But then I thought, if this is the low point of this week's top 10, because it's still pretty good, isn't it? Saved by the Bell, Robin Gibb. If this is the low point, it gives you an idea of the quality of the rest of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine. It feels like an album track. It doesn't feel like a single, let alone one that gets to number 2 in the charts. But, you know.
Kind of agree with you. My main problem with it, this song, I mean, it's pretty, isn't it? A lot of people are talking about the quality of his voice. You would expect that by Robin Gibb, wouldn't you? Mm. Some people were talking of his hammer vibrato technique. Do you know what that is?
Is that where his voice sort of wobbles a bit?
It wobbles, but it doesn't fluctuate in the tone. So he's sort of got that vibrato technique, but he keeps hitting the same note. Edith Piaf, I believe, used the hammer technique.
What, with an actual hammer?
Please, hammer, don't hurt him.
Was he like doing that?
No, because you're changing pitch slightly. It's really tricky to do. Put a vibrato in and keep hitting the same note. So there's that happening anyway.
I won't bother then.
Don't bother.
Okay.
But what my main problem is, if problem is the right word, is I don't really understand what this song is about. Saved by the Bell, that's a boxing term, isn't it? So
yeah, it means something bad was going to happen, but you've gotten away with it because of an external factor.
Yeah. Do you think this... How does it work in this song, do you think?
Saved by the Bell, on your own carousel. Now, who can tell if you'll love that man as well? It feels like he's got a rhyming dictionary there. What rhymes with Bell? I know what I want to call the song. Carousel, that's a good one. That'll go in. He's been in a relationship. She's gone off with another bloke. How is he saved by the bell for doing that? Saved by the Bell would be... she nearly went off with another bloke, but then something happened, which means she didn't, and she's back with me. Now I'm saved by the bell.
Precisely.
Robin, you're talking out of your arse, mate.
All right then, James. Now, because I didn't know what this was going on about, and then I thought I'll ask James about it, see what he makes of it. You've kind of stumbled upon the same discrepancy that I have, if we're being slightly pedantic and pernickety. Welcome to Shooby Dooby Doo-Wop. I looked on a website called Song Meanings, yeah? Now, some people... one person was saying it could be about an illegal abortion.
Wow, keep it light.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And the other person was saying it could be from the point of view of someone who has topped themselves. So the protagonist is singing to whoever, you've been saved by the bell because I've gone and done myself in. So, yeah, well, this is the thing, isn't it? You know, we always say it every week. This is very much in the ear of the beholder sometimes.
He does sing I Died for You. Yeah. I died for two. But then he says, I'll live for you.
Yeah. In your memory, according to somebody or other. I don't know. It doesn't really... I'm being a bit daft, but that's part of my issue with this song is the fissures in my head of Saved by the Bell. I couldn't quite... What about Robin?
There's only 10 lines in the whole song, so there's a lot of room for interpretation there because he's not really being specific. It's all quite nebulous. I mean, it sells 1 million copies worldwide. This is a huge hit.
Time to bring in the first time this week, Nile Rodgers.
Go right ahead.
Nile Rodgers famously said that if you don't like a record, if it's made the top 10 or the top 40, it doesn't really matter because loads of other people did. It's obviously a great song. So, thank you, Niall, for popping up this week.
So Robin had left the Bee Gees in March to go solo. What happened in August 1970?
He reformed. He got back together with them.
Yeah, he rejoined.
Yeah.
He would put out some more solo albums in the 80s and in the noughties, but they never really did anything. They're never going to be as popular as the Bee Gees, one of the most successful groups of all time, are they?
It would be tricky to match that.
Yeah. And aside from the Bee Gees, this is his biggest hit and arguably his only solo UK top 10 single.
Why arguably?
In 2003, he featured on Fame Academy runner-up Alistair Griffin's number 5 hit, My Lover's Prayer. And he also did backing vocals on a number 1 single in 2009.
Give me a clue.
Comic Relief record.
Which one?
That he had a hand in writing the original.
Can't remember.
Barry Islands in the Stream.
Maria Helen Martin Silva 3182 on YouTube says Robin himself used to say he always sang with the heart, not with the voice. So
that's not true, is it? It is his voice. Otherwise, it'd just be boom, 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 boom. Bit avant-garde.
I mean, it's no Joe Dolan.
No, it's dramatic, but not in a fun way.
Yeah, I don't feel comfortable slagging it off because it's fine, isn't it? As well, if you don't look too closely and listen too closely, and you just accept the sumptuous, beautiful, warm bath of Robin Gibb's voice and the harmonies and the orchestration.
Robin Gibb said, "Everything I write to the best of my ability. That is, every song I have written could be a single. I never write A-sides. That would be an insult to my ego."
Oh, really? So he doesn't... Yeah, all right then. Well, we mentioned it in part 1, didn't we? Stevie Wonder, no less.
Yeah.
My Sherry Amore was a B-side. So, and obviously that's no B-side in the public perception, is it?
And this is a B-side.
No Bonehead's Bank Holiday by Oasis. Yeah, so maybe the person themselves don't always recognise the... Well, you can't, can you? You can't recognise the popularity. We know this, James, don't we? When we do our jokes around the pubs and the clubs above the pubs, you write a joke. You've got no say whether it's going to work, really, or not. So maybe...
No, we get told.
Yeah, so same with songs. And everyone is telling Robin Gibb, you've made a top 10 records. So what we moaning about? It's like a pair of old fools.
Who controversially stayed at his Miami mansion for Christmas in 2006?
I mean, I'm a bit saturated by the news at the moment. Was it Peter Mandelson?
No, but they could have possibly been singing My Sherry Amore.
Stevie Wonder?
No.
Tony Blair?
Tony Blair did, yeah.
Did he?
He was controversial.
Did he?
2006 was a different time, wasn't it? The controversy was he went to a Bee Gees house.
I wonder why.
They were mates. I don't know. It was whether, he was getting it for free and he was the Prime Minister at the time. And because obviously after that, he pushed through a whole lot of pro-BG legislation.
I have been watching BG News lately on the channel.
That's a brilliant idea.
It's really weird, the Bee Gees run. It's all been really get everybody out of the country and it's a strange channel.
Has anyone done that yet? BG News. That's really funny. High-pitched racism.
Do you know what they do with when they report on the NHS? They say that the NHS should be defunded because everybody should be staying alive and all that. What else can we do over here? VG's being slightly right-wing white fever.
Transgender athletes shouldn't be allowed in sports because they're more than a woman. BG News there.
Hey, I started a woke.
Wicked.
Number 2.
It's a non-mover. At number 2, it's Give Peace a Chance by the Plastic Ono. Who's it by? John Lennon?
That's by the Plastic Ono Band.
No, I was right the first time, as I thought. Give Peace a Chance. I mean, have you heard this song before, James?
Yes, I've heard this song before. Yes, I have, yes.
Where did you hear it? In the 70s, a lot of people on YouTube were saying, all we are saying is give us a goal, became a popular chant.
Where?
Around the football grounds, of
Oh,
course.
okay, was it?
All we are saying is give us a goal.
It's written with that in mind. It's written to be sung en masse by groups, isn't it?
Very much.
Repeatedly. That's what it does. And that's, the second half of the song, and 90% of the song is that.
As a young boy, I found it weird it was such a sing-along, because the verses are not necessarily sing-along, are they?
No, the verses are gibberish, let's be honest.
John Lennon.
I'm not saying that's a bad thing.
Everybody's talking, I can't remember them. Everybody's talking about baggies and shaggies and madism, thisism, that ism. I mean,
All right, okay. Okay, so everybody's talking about baggism. What's that then?
I suppose that would be John Lennon and Yoko Ono spent a lot of their time in a bag, didn't they? Some sort of art statement, some sort of art project. They'd be interviewed whilst inside some canvas bag. So there's that.
All right, so everyone was talking about that.
Also,
Shaggism. What's that?
do not know.
Yeah, but everyone was talking about it, apparently.
Wasn't me, whatever it was.
Dragism.
Thisism and thatism. All right.
Madism, ragism, tagism, thisism, thatism. There's so many isms these days.
Do verse 3 for me, because there's a... Who do you think Rosemary is amongst all these people? Everybody's talking about... Is it Tommy Smothers?
John and Yoko,
Yeah.
and then the most dangerous man in America. Not my words, the words of Richard Milhouse Nixon. Who's the most dangerous man in America? He's mentioned in the lyrics.
Trying to
And
remember
he's
the
in
word.
the room when they record
Who?
it.
Everybody's talking about who?
John and Yoko,
And then Yoko. Timmy Leary?
Timothy Leary, yes.
Right. I should get the words up, go on. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to see what I can remember.
You're doing it off the top of your head. Rosemary, Tommy Smothers. What do you know of Tommy Smothers?
I know that he was a Smothers Brothers, a comedian from the 60s, an alternative comedian, if you like, around that time. And he plays guitar on this record, doesn't he?
Yep.
We should mention where this song is recorded. Let's get out of the way first before we dig into the mystery of Rosemary.
Oh, room 1742 of the Queen Elizabeth Hotel in Montreal.
While John and Yoko were on their honeymoon.
Having a bed in. The laziest protest in the world.
Yeah.
And the press showed up. They put out a press release saying, we're staying in bed for reasons. And the press went, this we've got to see. And they show up with cameras and reporters and everything. It's a different time, isn't it?
Yeah,
If anyone did that now, I think, no, you're all right.
Did you watch a video?
Yes, I've seen a video of it, yeah.
Petula Clark's in there for some reason, isn't she?
Yeah, she's there. There's a fifth Beatle there.
A fifth beat. Oh, Derek Taylor, he's mentioned in the lyrics as well. He was a press manager for the Beatles.
But there's another fifth Beatle then.
He gets a shout out. It wasn't Jimmy Nicol who replaced Ringo Starr. It wasn't Pete Best.
No.
Who else?
It was someone who very much called himself the fifth Beatle.
Murray the K?
It was Murray the K, yes.
DJ.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll turn up whenever the Beatles were knocking around, pretending he's their best mate. Fair enough. I think he was close with them, so there's that.
Allen Ginsberg.
Oh, yes, the countercultural poet who appears in the Bob Dylan Subterranean Homesick Blues video in the background.
Yeah, and a wrong'un.
Why is Allen Ginsberg a wrong'un?
I suggest you read his Wikipedia page. Dick Gregory, comedian. Do you remember what song Dick Gregory inspired in a mad way, in a long roundabout way, when he made a documentary about the world's fattest man?
Oh, what was it?
It was You Got the Love by Candy Staton.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we talked about that. Also, I would like to say Dick and Gregory, two of my mum's friends. We have to put one of them in a week. All right then, James. Now, this is a bit like the...
Can I just say about Tommy Smothers?
Please?
Once he got punched in the head by Bill Cosby at the Playboy Mansion.
Oh, he got off lightly.
Yep.
Could have had a drink with him and woke up in a very... I'm not making light of that. My apologies for anyone who's been affected by issues. It's a bit like the Elvis song. Woke Elvis. Woke John Lennon, isn't it? Loads of people in it are saying how it's still relevant and pertinent.
Well, anyone who doesn't want to be at war should be singing this.
Reload 9524 says this song should be played daily on the radio. Let all the presidents and ministers hear it.
I don't think they listen to the radio, to be honest.
Maybe. What I've learned lately, James, I'm a bit obsessed. If they all went to a certain island, they could have played it on there, and everyone, all these presidents and ministers would have heard it. Also, people are saying Ice need to hear it. That'd be Ice, not Vanilla. I did a little Googling. I asked that search engine, how many other wars are going on at present day? Any idea?
At time of recording, how many wars are going on?
Yeah.
Is it about 60?
Yes, I mean, it's AI, isn't it? So the initial response I got was 25. Then it says, according to the Council on Foreign Relations, and I had a look at their website, and it was around 50 or 60. There's too much going on. And
Yeah.
hey, do you know what I think, James? Do you know what? I'm a bit like John Lennon, yeah? You know what I think about war, yeah?
You think it's bad?
I think it's bad, yeah.
War's bad, apparently. So obviously, it's written about the Vietnam War. That is the specific war that inspired it. And the song goes on to be sung at loads and loads of protests across the States and across the world, really. And John Lennon said that was one of the biggest moments of his life when he heard this song being sung at those protests. And he was in the Beatles.
Yeah. They're interesting, John and Yoko, at this time, aren't they? I think just after this, in November, they released the Two Virgins album, Experimental Noises, with an infamous cover. Do you know about that cover?
Yep, they're both in the nip.
In the nip, aren't they?
Yep.
What other pop stars have appeared on album covers nude? Prince didn't he? Love Sexy.
Love Sexy.
Or what's Prince's name according to your mum?
Squiggle Blob Trumpet. But that was to do with the symbol that he became known as, not his naked body.
I can't think of Prince as anything else apart from Squiggle Blob Trumpet now, so I'd like to thank you, Mum. I mean, Janet Jackson did a cover, wasn't she, where her husband had a hand over
Oh, yes. The hand bra.
Yeah. Bow wow. I had a young 14-year-old Annabelle Llewellyn, very dodgy times. Blind Faith, they did that, didn't they? Electric Ladyland right around this time. Jimi Hendrix.
That wasn't Jimi Hendrix, though. That was.
No.
It's very easy to put other naked people on your album cover, but to do it yourself, that shows some balls.
Who should we put naked on our opening graphics? Not me and you, that's for certain. No. Let's not do a Two Virgins.
Yeah, I don't want to get kicked off YouTube immediately. Thanks.
That first one, we should point that out on YouTube. Listen to our old ones on.
You can. They're still on YouTube. They just doesn't have the great images. Anyway, of the people mentioned in the lyrics of the song, how many of them have had UK chart hits?
Tommy Cooper's in there, isn't he?
Tommy Cooper
had
a number 40 hit in 1961 with "Don't Jump Off the Roof, Dad."
Is that the title of his song? Was Tommy Cooper placing himself in rod holes?
He didn't jump off the roof.
No.
He fell.
Who else is that? Just Tommy Cooper?
Well, Bobby Dylan.
Tommy Cooper turns up. Bobby Dylan, of course. Yeah, right then.
He had 6 UK top 10 hits. The last one being Lay Lady Late in September 1969. Also, the Radha Krishna Temple would get to number 12 in September 1969 with Hari Krishna Mantra.
That's right. There's a few Hare Krishnas in the room, aren't they? Sing along. It's got a Hare Krishna repeated mantra to it. What do you make of the Hare Krishnas, James?
What do I make of the Hari Krishnas?
Yeah.
I think it's a free country.
Yeah. I had a nice free dinner off from at Glastonbury once, so I'm delighted.
Great. Good set of lads.
In the middle of it, I like this. John Lennon shouts, "You can't ban this one," doesn't he?
Well, can you? When was the song "Give Peace a Chance" banned by the BBC?
Not at the time, because it's number 2 in the charts, but later on. Was it when, I don't know, when the Gulf War was going on or something?
It was when the Gulf War was going on.
Why?
But it wasn't this version of "Give Peace a Chance" that they banned. It was another version of "Give Peace a Chance" by the Peace Choir, which was a supergroup put together by Yoko, Sean Lennon, and Lenny Kravitz. They put it out in 1991, the day before the UN airstrike started against Iraq.
And the BBC banned it?
The BBC banned it. They wouldn't play it. The BBC banned loads of records during the Gulf War. Anything that was slightly to do with war was suddenly cut from the playlist.
Yeah, Weapon of Choice by Fatboy Slim, I remember being banned.
That was banned because it wasn't out for another 9 years.
Yeah.
Anyway, I've got a list of the people who are in the Peace Choir. So we mentioned, Tommy Smothers is in the room and Petula Clark is in the room for the original version. So here are some of the people who were in the remake. Adamant, Al Jarreau, Alana Miles, Bonnie Raitt, Bros, Bruce Hornsby, Cyndi Lauper, Dave Stewart, Don Was, Dweezil Zappa, Flea from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, Iggy Pop, Jazzy B from Soul to Soul, LL Cool J, Little Richard, MC Hammer, Michael McDonald, Peter Gabriel, Randy Newman, Tina Marie, Terence Trent D'Arby, Tom Petty, and Wendy and Lisa.
Blimey, O'Reilly, why have I never heard of this record?
Because it was banned by the BBC. They don't want you to hear it, Andy.
If I do pay my licence, I might try and get it revoked while we were on BG News. I mean, that's a great lineup, isn't it? It's like We Are the World, isn't it?
Yeah, where else are you going to hear Bros, Little Richard, and Flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers on the same record?
Seems mad, doesn't it, while war's going on, for the BBC to ban such a overly simplistic message, some might say.
Well, you've got to have balance, haven't you? So if you're going to play Give Peace a Chance, you must also put out a single called Give War a Chance, because we haven't tried that yet. Give
Minor Clashes and Skirmishes a chance.
That does sound like a Half Man, Half Biscuit song.
It's such a strange... It's unique, isn't it? Recorded in a hotel room on a honeymoon with loads of press there.
Yeah.
Cry for World Peace. That's a unique record, isn't it?
It has a job to do and it does its job. It's not something I would choose to listen to.
But you would join in and sing along to it when the opportunity arises?
I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm into peace, really.
All right. I mean, it was weird when it was loads of adverts. For some reason, I've seen many things with Give Peas a Chance on adverts and on stupid birthday cards with loads of peas singing it from a bowl.
Give Pizza a Chance.
It's not how John Lennon would have liked it to be remembered, I suppose, him that being co-opted into that commercialism, but here we are.
Well, presumably someone will have had to sign off on Give Peas a Chance, wouldn't they?
James, I don't like to have a go at other people for infringing other copyrights, because you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I learned this week. I was thinking about John Lennon in a hotel room, inviting the world press in, yeah?
Yeah.
While we're talking about the BBC and being banned, I had a look on the BBC website this week. I was just having a look, and there's a story about a bloke. Get this, James. I don't know if this is the right place for it. There was a story about a bloke, right, who logged onto his porn website of choice.
Right.
And
what
then,
a wholesome story this is going to be, yes?
Get this, it's sort of relevant. And then what he came across, if you get my gist, was...
If I get you what?
What happened was when he logged onto his website, he saw him and his own girlfriend having sex in a hotel. While he was logging on to, do whatever he needs to do, have a think about things, he saw him and his girlfriend with an illegally filmed...
what did he search for?
Just this, whatever website it's on. So there's this website then in Japan, apparently. Yoko, she's Japanese. I'm just trying to tie it into John Lennon, innit? Yoko, she's Japanese. They were in a hotel room. So, so maybe people are making their own cries for peace without knowing it. It's a very different thing for John and Yoko inviting the world press in, isn't it?
It is. It is a different thing, Andy. You're right. They didn't do that. This was all consensual.
It's made me think, that's all I'm saying.
Has it?
Yeah.
Made you have a big think.
You can't ban this one.
Yeah. Luckily, I never stay in nice hotels, so I guess I'll just have to look up Travelodge or something.
I was thinking that if I had a camera in my hotel room, I'm always on my own in hotel rooms. What they'd find people would watch is me leaving the room at 2 a.m. for 5 minutes, then coming back with a pack of cheddars from the vending machine. It's niche.
It's niche, but, the heart wants what it wants.
The UK's number one.
It's a non-mover at number one, the third of 5 weeks for the Rolling Stones with Honky Tonk Women.
We've talked about not knowing some of these songs, or at least half of them in the top 10. You can't throw that accusation at this one. You would have heard this whether you like it or not in your life, wouldn't you?
Yes.
I love this song, James. I'm delighted to see this at number one.
It's dirty and bluesy and a lot of fun. Some really great writing in it as well.
Go on.
Really fun lyrics. I can't seem to drink you off my mind.
Yeah.
It's a great line. I mean, she blew my nose and then she blew my mind. I think we all know what's going on there. Have you ever had to blow someone else's nose?
What do you mean?
Well, when your kid is young and they've got a bunged up nose and they can't blow their nose from themselves, let's just say there are devices that you can buy to help them. Horrible. I can't believe I brought it up. It's making me feel a bit sick.
And you were telling me off for bringing that Japanese hotel sex story up. I mean, in many ways, that's more disgusting, etc., etc. All right, then, let's get into this. The greatest cowbell intro ever.
I've got a fever and the only prescription is more cowbell. And then this is the song. So what is a honky tonk woman?
I believe it to be, from the country and western songs by Hank Williams, the notion of a honky tonk is a bar, isn't it? A late night bar, a drinking establishment. As Kitty Wells sang, you know, it wasn't God who made honky tonk angels, all that kind of stuff, you know. So the honky tonk woman, I suppose, is a woman who doesn't mind a late night drink. Let's put it like that.
Okay.
It first appeared on the album. What album was it? Let It Bleed, I think. And as Country Hunk. Then there's a country and western version of this, which is nowhere near as good, actually. So stick with this one if you have to choose one. But on YouTube comments, predictably, when the Stones go on, there's a lot of love for Charlie. There's a lot of love for Mick Taylor. He was a new guitarist on this record, wasn't he?
His guitar part was actually added after.
Oh, was it?
Yeah. He says he wrote the riff that Keith Richards plays.
Okay.
In the timeline of the Rolling Stones, they just fired Brian Jones, and the single was released the day that he was found dead.
Oh, okay.
Which is just a bit of sheer coincidence, really. But obviously that put Rolling Stones back in on the headlines, and then this goes on to be a massive number one.
They played it at Hyde Park concert, didn't they? Which I don't think was originally an elegy for Brian Jones, that concert, but he died. They were already booked to play. Mick Taylor was appearing with them, and it kind of turned into a Brian Jones tribute, at least part of it.
Who got a free copy of the single at that gig?
I don't know. Give me a clue.
Anyone who helped clean up afterwards.
Really?
You got a copy of the single for free.
Very good.
What was the B-side of this? We talked about B-sides with Stevie Wonder in part one. What's the B-side of this?
I have no idea.
You can't always get what you want.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Imagine that.
Not even a double A side.
Nope.
They must have thought you can't always get what you want, deserved its own space. No. It's amazing this with Jagger and Richards. I think this so often. They were told to write, really, by their manager, Andrew Loog Oldham. So you had the Beatles and the influence and that notion that every artist must author their own songs and be self-contained. I think it's astonishing. John and Paul met because they were interested in songwriting. That's their bond. The Stones were not so interested in songwriting, and yet when they were forced to do it, well, you know, look at them. The first song they wrote, I think, according to popular thought, is As Tears Go By. That's pretty good for your first song. So I think that's always a slightly astonishing turn of events that, you know, people who have no interest in writing a song can bang out loads and loads of classics.
Well, I've no interest in writing a song, so maybe I should do it.
Yeah.
Get a few classics that way.
Did you watch the video?
I've seen a performance of it, yeah.
All right, so on it, there's a clip beforehand, before the song starts, and Mick Jagger is saying, well, the Beatles... I can't do a Mick Jagger impression. Can you? We talked about impressions earlier. Can you do one?
I don't know. I'll give it a go. What am I saying?
You're saying something like the Beatles are a studio band, but we're a live band.
The Beatles are a studio band.
So this is intriguing. So this idea. So the Beatles wrote their second single, didn't they? I Want to Be Your Man for them. They gave it, I think, secretly... The Beatles loved that they started the Stones off in this weird rivalry they had. You know, 50 years later, Paul McCartney's going, never mind the studio band and live band, basically the Stones are a blues cover group. And then Mick Jagger, there's a clip of him going a bit later on, Paul's just said this about us, and, you know, all that, moaning a bit about it, and then he goes on to play with him. So, you know, that's always fascinating. The free concert thing I thought was pretty interesting for Brian Jones. This is a good comment from Dillong's staff. They say, a free concert in 1969. Now we have 200 quid to go to Reading Festival with Rick Astley guesting with the Foo Fighters and a karaoke set by Post Malone. Harumph.
Yeah, and sometimes free gigs go awry, as the Stones will find out in 1969.
That's right, a little portent of doom to come.
Apparently this song was inspired by a holiday that Jagger and Richards went on to Brazil. They met a load of cowboys and therefore wrote Honky Tonk Woman.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
I don't know.
Country and western theme, why not?
I do like how the singer of the song in the story of the song is kind of moving up the social strata.
How do you mean?
Well, in the first one, I met a gin soaked barroom queen in Memphis. We've all been there. And the second verse is, I laid a divorcee in New York City, which just made me think of Midnight Cowboy. It's one of my favourite films.
A.K. Hafiz says about this clip, some of Jagger's girlfriends were not born yet. I don't want to finish with this. It's a classic. It's Honky Tonk Women by Rolling Stones. What more do you need for a great culmination to this late 60s top 10? Well, that was that, James.
3rd of August, 1969. Tick it off. We've done it.
We've done it, innit? Finished, done. I feel a little bit like we're tourists sometimes. Been there, done that. But
Yeah.
However, we've lived with it all throughout the week, haven't we? A great top 10. What is your favourite record from this week, James?
Well, of the songs I already knew, are we counting those or should we just count the songs we didn't know?
You can do whatever you like with it. It's a free country.
Okay, so I really enjoyed Make Me an Island by Joe Dolan. That's a lot of silly fun. I've enjoyed that. And, and the 4 I already knew.
Okay, I'll go for Scylla or Claude. That's the 2 that I didn't know, but have really impressed me this week. Making my own personal Shooby Dooby Doo-Up playlist. I do that sometimes, James. I bang my favourite songs onto a separate one, all of my own. But you don't need to worry about that. You can, however, listen to all of these songs we've discussed in the top 10 and another half a dozen, which will be featured in our Patreon episode, where me and James discuss 6 records that were in the charts but never ever made the top 10, and some great ones in there this week, isn't there?
There's one that you will be astounded never gets into the top 10 because it is iconic.
And another 5, maybe not iconic, but brilliant records.
Make sure you rate and review, and if you've enjoyed it, tell everyone you know that this podcast exists.
Please rate, review, share, subscribe, follow, write us a review, or comment underneath, since this is our very first. Hey, we know our cameras are not the best. We know the sound could be better. This is our very first video edition. I mean, apart from having to look at our own stupid faces, James, it's been okay, hasn't it?
We're getting there.
And whatever you do in the meantime, please don't forget to Shooby Dooby Doo Up.
Bop, bop, shoe up.